on the one remaining computer. The best part is you will never know. Why? Because your friend is still able to give you access to your data with three of the four computers down. Now, let's take it to the real cloud. When you store your data in a cloud, just like before, you are storing your data on someone else's computer. However, this is not your friend. And unlike your friend, you just can't walk over to their home and then download it to a floppy or the USB and leave. Once you upload your data, uh, it is saved in a building that is 3 to 4 city blocks in length and one city block wide, or one city block that is 2 to 3 stories above and below ground. Sounds far-fetched? Trust me when I say this is not. I have worked in a data center where you could play football in it. Once your data has been saved, it is sent to other locations. Yes, this is correct, locations. You can be in South Carolina, but your server you're saving your data to may be in Tennessee. Now, when your data is saved elsewhere, that elsewhere might be Kansas, Idaho, and Arizona, for example. Even more so, your data can be stored not only in the USA, but Canada or the UK. So as long as you have internet access, you will have access to your data. And if you have sensitive access, data, make sure you tell them you only want to save in the USA. So to answer my next two questions, how can it help you? And how can it help your business? The simple answer is access. You can access your data no matter where you are, be it in the office, your home, on vacation, at the airport, or even while riding in the car on the way to the beach. I don't understand why you would look at a computer screen while you have such beautiful scenery. Water, sand. Oh, sorry. Got carried away there. No. So this applies to both business and personal use. The next great thing is if your computer should stop working, the company loses network connectivity or the power goes out in your area, employees can still access the data as if data as it would not be affected as the data center has redundancy upon redundancy upon redundancy. They have two or more internet service providers, battery backup systems and generators, and servers backing up servers, racks backing up racks, rows backing up rows, or sections backing up sections should anything fail. There are a lot of benefits of having your data in the cloud, and another one is security. I thought I wouldn't talk about security. You're wrong. I always got to have security involved somewhere in here. Well, here it comes. Here is where the company holding your data is responsible for the security of your data. Now, there are a few questions you should ask, but for the most part, the response may leave more questions. Why? This is because the company holding your data, don't want the bad guys to know about their internal workings of the network. Same about your home. You don't just give anybody information about what's going on inside of your house. So how can storing your data in the cloud hurt you or your business? Let's revisit the good parts. Your data is stored in multiple locations. Check. Your data is accessible no matter where you are. Check. Security is controlled by someone else, so you have nothing to worry about. Uncheck. If you were to visit each of the good points listed above, these can be part of the bad points also. First, let's start with the data being stored on multiple locations. If it is stored in multiple locations, then when you delete it, is it truly deleted? Secondly, if it's stored in multiple locations, there is a chance that someone else can copy your data for their personal use or financial gain. Then the question really becomes, who owns that data? This is a discussion for another day. Always remember, just because you put it on somebody's computer doesn't really mean that it's yours, because they have free access to it also. Now, I want to talk about dun 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 security. I love that word. Security is very important because this is how they keep your data safe. They have access to tools that, from a financial standpoint, wouldn't make sense for us to purchase. Spending $30,000 for a firewall, an intrusion detection system, along with an intrusion protection system, makes no sense for the person protecting TT's apple pie recipe. Now, my TT make good apple pie. You, on the other hand, can, and I highly recommend this, get an external device to save your data. This way, if your computer should stop working, your data is safe. as long as you back it up at least weekly. Depending on how much data I create, I may save every couple of days, but I digress. The cloud has a lot of good reasons to use it, but again, it has good reasons why you should not use it. If you should decide to use it for home use or for a small business that is just saving data, consider encrypting it prior to uploading the data. Save the decryption key in multiple places just in case something catches fire. At least if someone is accessing the data on the cloud, yours will be unreadable. So again, encrypt your data before uploading, so then that way they can't read it. They can access it, but they just can't read it. If you should have any questions about how to secure your computer, data, or network, or if you have any IT questions, give us a call at 844-722-5389 or send an email to samuel.brown at packet-ex.com. And for the first 10 people that call, we are offering 90 days free antivirus software to keep you safe. So remember, security, security, security. Even if you're saving your data on someone else's system, being your friends or any cloud through a paid service, ensure that you encrypt your data. This has been Samuel with his Geek Simple, and I hope this information has been very useful to you.
You know, I have one thing that I just want to say. I was told to never trust the cloud because you can lose all your information. So is that really true?
Lose it? No. The whole question is, where is it?
Correct.
And I give you a perfect example. So with your local hard drive right now on your computer, you have something called a MBR, Master Boot Record. And consider your master boot record as your index of a phone book. I mean, of a book that you're reading. If someone rips out the page that has all of the chapters in the book, you don't know what chapter to read or what chapters are in the book or where the data is, period, in that book. So you're completely lost. So if you delete the MBR on your hard drive doesn't know where your data is and what you're looking for. So you're completely lost. And the same thing can happen in the cloud. Maybe they just lost the MBR and they can't find it.
So your information's out there somewhere, but lost.
That's correct. And somebody else can have access to it. And if they don't know it belongs to you, then guess what? You do not, they don't know who you are, so you never get it back.
So is it better just to stick with hard drives versus the cloud?
That depends on two things here. What is that data for and who's going to be accessing it? If it's going to be for your personal use and you have nothing that's really, I guess, need to be accessed from a remote location, yes, throw it on an external drive. That's what I do. But if it's something that you need to have access to because it's important, that I'm just going to say your sisters and your cousins in Chicago or Oregon need to be able to see that same information and you need to be able to get to it wherever, then yes, you might want to throw in the cloud and having it to a shared account.
That sounds like the best thing to do because I just don't trust the cloud. I was told that before because someone said they lost. Well, it's not lost. It was lost somewhere. But they said, never trust the cloud. And so I always had that mentality that, I want to use the cloud, but I want to have it backed up somewhere that I can put my hands on it and know exactly where it is.
Well, let me add one thing to that. The question the question I would ask that person is, who did they save that data with? Because as I mentioned in my discussion here a moment ago, depending on who you save your data with, your data is never saved on one computer. It is saved on multiple computers in multiple locations. Um, a company that we work with will save your data, and again, I'm just using this as an example, Tennessee. That's where the initial save would take place. But then it could be saved in Idaho. It can be saved again in Texas, and it can be saved again in California. So even if you lose access to it in Tennessee, well, you can access it in Idaho or California, And the thing is, you'll never know that you accessing it in those other countries. I mean, those other states, because you don't need to know that. All you need to know is if you can access your data.
Good stuff. So just give us one more tip on security in the cloud, and then you'll be able to wrap it up here.
Well, not much of a tip, but more of a just a warning. When you're working with the cloud, or even working with anything that's dealing out with your personal information in the on social medias, for an example, uh, just be aware that your information is now in the hands of another security provider to protect it. And even at their best efforts, they can still be compromised because the companies that they're purchasing their software from and equipment from may be very slow in patching issues that has been found by what is known as white hat hackers. So being compromised is it's a way of life now. Just got to be ready to be prepared to deal with the outcomes of of those hacks, depending on what the hackers do with it. But if you should have any questions, please feel free to give me a call at 844-722-5389, or you can send me an email at samuel.brown at packet-ex.com. And again, for the first 10 people that give us a call or send us an email, morning antivirus software, we'll give you 90 days free, the first 90 days free of antivirus software on your computer to keep you protected.
And you all should take advantage of that. Thank you. Ray, take us out.